The concept of City Conversations is a simple one. It has a format which brings together a chair, normally an engineer, and a panel of experts from a diversity of disciplines and an invited audience to discuss a series of topics around cities, energy, but in particular where engineering can have an influence and the broader aspects of engineering in particular. The conversations have evolved over the years. They started purely looking at infrastructure and energy, and then as time went on, the broader aspects of the city and the people who live in cities became of greater interest, and they became the city conversations that we know today in terms of their topics. And then in the last couple of years, we've also migrated to the Zoom platform. What this has allowed us to do is to bring in an international panel and an international audience, which has really broadened the conversation to make really good connections around the world with people who are interested in engineering topics which have an international interest anyway. There are certain things that make the City Conversation series really special and really valuable for the community of people who have been attending. Not least, I think, the diversity of people who get involved. The engineers have provided the bedrock of the thinking that goes into the panel, but often we will go as broadly as, say, medical professions at one end to people in the media at the other. I think the way that we can engage with a much broader community of professionals has really made the City Conversations an important topic that has really been worthwhile, not just for the engineering community, but for the other professions who are involved. What we've managed to achieve is the complexity and diversity of topics, particularly getting to the things that make cities work, the things that make cities work effectively. And often this is about non-engineering sensibilities. So the word empathy gets used quite a lot as a way of showing that engineers now, as well as their bedrock of skills around the civil and structural and environmental calculations that they have to make, also need to be sensitive to the needs of people in the cities. And I think that's something that has really flourished within these conversations, and hopefully the knowledge and the skills of the engineers has flourished at the same time. Finally, I think what's underpinned all these talks is the issues of infrastructure. Infrastructure often goes unrecognised, but is actually very, very fundamental to the way cities work. Things such as water, green infrastructure, transport, as well as the obvious things of materials and energy, they really are topics that need to be discussed in great detail and with great sensitivity. And the City Conversations have really made that space their own. They really bring a special conversation, a special insight to a lot of those topics, which is really valuable to the engineering community.